Sawadee Cup to everybody. And yeah, I'd like to know how everybody's doing. Actually, I do want to know how everybody's doing. You know, I had some people, a couple people from New York in the stream, and New York is largely forgotten after all the hell that they went through. And people in other parts of Thailand. I'm getting all sorts of messages, and I just got one not long ago, a few minutes ago, saying that, while it's great that Thailand is opening up, and I do think it's good, however, how trustworthy are the numbers? Uh, just like how trustworthy is are the vaccinations? It makes you wonder a little bit. It does make me wonder. And the reopening, which is scheduled to happen tomorrow, there is some good news. Originally, what I said yesterday was that in order for people to get into restaurants, coffee shops, and the like, they would have to prove that they had been fully vaccinated and have a green card, which I don't. Yeah. Well, basically, I've showed it up on my page. I'm not going to show this one because it's got my personal information on it, but you get a green card, or they can scan and look at it online, or you can have a yellow card, which means you've been vaccinated once, or you've already had the virus and that you've recovered and that you've been tested. Now they are removing those restrictions, those added items on the list to be checked off. You can go into any restaurant now. You don't have to be vaccinated. Not once. You don't have to have one jab. You don't have to have anything. Niall, how's it going? You don't have to have any of that stuff. The staff still has to have, they still have to be fully vaccinated. Now, I don't know how they're going to check on all this. I can't believe it would be under the honor system. But they do not have to. They do not have to be tested anymore. So that removes a substantial expense of these restaurants, because if they got a staff of say 50 or 100 people and every one of them has to be tested every week, that's quite a bit of money. And they're on slim margins, so it's very difficult for them to make a decent profit when they're having to test all these people. So they have removed that. Sort of Cowboy, how's it going? We were just talking about New York. How's New York now? That's what I'm kind of wondering. How are things back to normal, or are people still running around with 2 masks on, or what's happening there? That's one of my questions. Yes, how is life treating everyone? To me, there is actually a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel. And yeah, the thing is that my concern here. There's two concerns. One is uh, one is that these numbers are just manufactured, manipulated. That's always a concern, or they're just erroneous, uh, so that people can, if they're manipulated, then that way the tourists can come in and they go, "Oh, Thailand's rebounding, everything's good." I don't know that that's the case. I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt it that they've been manipulated a little bit, or I just wouldn't doubt that. However, the other thing is that just because they're letting people in and they think everything's going to be all right and we're learning to live with it and all these things, what happens if really this lockdown has worked and we all go back and we're all sitting around, and then everybody starts, you know, larger numbers of people are infected, more people start dying, then what are they going to do? So that's something that I really am wondering about. And, I'm just going to I'm vaccinated for what it's worth with Sinovac, but for I am gonna go to Starbucks tomorrow. Some changes afoot. I wonder which are here to stay and which will be dropped as soon as the current situation is over, or they may be dropped in the future. I'm wondering about that insurance for $100,000 because what I'm really wondering about is, how many tourists are willing to get the insurance that is going to suffice for the Thai government. I don't think it's all that big of a deal if you're just coming for a couple of weeks or anything like that. But if you're coming and you want to stay for 3 months, don't make me laugh. Well, it's the dirty Farang. Everything is the dirty Farang's fault. We all know that. So before I get into it a little bit more, the temperature currently is 82 degrees Fahrenheit. The feel-like temperature is 91, high of 88, low of 77. It is getting a little bit cooler and more rainy here. Humidity is 88%. Rain, chance of rain 40%. It will rain here for sure. It might even rain during this live stream. It tends to do that. There is no wind, although when there is wind, it's from the west. The air quality index is 71, which is moderate. Maybe more people are out now. They're driving around doing things. I don't know what the deal is. But the Thai baht, 32.46 to the dollar. Just a week or so again, it was like 33.5. So, it is what it is. Yeah, I was going to say something about that now because I did see that. What really I think a lot of people are interested in knowing is if they come here and they don't have a visa and they're allowed to stay for a month and then they get their extension, are they going to be able to get another extension after that? I think some people would like to know that. And normally that's not the case. Yeah, but you have a you have what, a tourist visa? Why shouldn't he lift weights? If his back is screwed up, then you need to take some time off. But otherwise, there's no reason why you can't lift weights. Even he's not that old. Okay. All right, listen. You guys have at it when you want to have at it. You come on here bitching and fighting with each other. What's you guys are friends. Come on. We don't need this. Longhorns is sleeping. I can guarantee it. We're supposed to go to Starbucks. We're supposed to meet up at Starbucks tomorrow. And he actually sent me a message saying, I'm feeling really lazy. I don't know if I'm going to go. Can we go on Thursday? I'm like, what's different between Thursday and Wednesday? Doesn't matter to me. I'll be there. Just because it's a different place to go. Then I have some other things to do around town, which I normally wouldn't do if things were shut down. But now that things are open up, I've got some errands to run. And I'll be around town. And, you got to do what you got to do. Yeah, I mean, if he was at home, he'd be on the verge of sleeping. Anyway, what my questions were for the day are, first of all, will you come back to Thailand, say, in the next year? That's the first question. Because I'm curious, there are some people that will not be back. Some people won't be coming back. I know for sure some of my friends, some people that have lived here, have said, I'm done with that place. I don't need it. I can go elsewhere. And It's a mess like just about every other country. So, Soy Dog Cowboy, I know you'll be coming back sometime at some point. Uh, Niall is here. Gennaro, do you still plan on coming here? Um, Carlos is already here. Yeah, but it's just the thing. Listen, I've talked about Costa Rica. I think Costa Rica might be a tad bit more expensive, and it is a Latin culture, not an Asian culture, which for me would take a little bit of reacclimating because I grew up in South Florida and there's a lot of Latinos living there, but I haven't been around any of them in a long time. I'd have to get my head around that if I was to ever move. But right now we've just dug in here, you know, and the next thing that I'm wondering about is the school because the schools are going to be opening soon here supposedly, which means Alex and Nicholas will be back physically in school. You know, Sid the cat is constantly scratching at the door or scratching at the other door to get out or to get in. He tries to put we have to put he tries to push the door open, this little cat. He's always trying to push the door open. Anyway, I digress. So Gennaro will be coming here end of next year. If not 2022, that's wow. You mean 2023? The fall of 2022 and then or 2023, is that what you mean? Or are you talking about coming back this year? A lot of people are already here in the stream today. Jamaican beef patties. Ah, you know, my parents are still in Florida, so they have some Jamaican friends, and one thing is that I have got some awesome Jamaican rum cake in the past. Ugh, it's so good. It's so good. And their meat, you know, they have the jerk chicken and all that kind of stuff. Very, very nice. Medellin, Colombia looks good. So you're not coming here, John? I've been to Medellin, and it's a nice place. I just don't know that I would want to live there. I would have to spend. I was there for 15 days. Um, yeah, I was there for 15 days, and so you know what? Hang on a second. I'm not in the mood for any shit today. Well, he might be waiting for for a long time. I got a little bit of a chest cold. I'm actually thinking about going and get a test just to get myself tested and make sure. So that's the big thing now is are people going to come back? And it seems like a fair number of people will be back there. You know, maybe it's the 80-20 rule. 80% of the people will come back. 20% of the people are like moving on. They've had enough of this place. They don't want to deal with the hassles to get in. I was reading yesterday about how there's a lot of unhappy people in Phuket. And the, where is this here? Let's see if I can find this. The buses and flights here. Yeah, the interprovincial travel will be lifted. It will be eased, rather, starting on Wednesday. It says here in the Tiger, while domestic travel from the high-risk provinces like Bangkok, there are some restrictions. Well, I think they mean while it's allowed. According to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, transportation services will need to operate at 75% of its maximum capacity, which that's not too bad. Passengers are required to wear masks at all times, and the consumption of food and drinks is not allowed. But the good thing is that there's going to be 8 bus routes opening up to the north, 10 to the northeast and east, and 8 routes to the south. Thai Viet Jet also confirmed its resumption of domestic flights to and from Suvarnabhumi. And they are starting a campaign, Welcome Back to the Sky, special fares at 499 baht. It says the passengers will need to show proof of a negative result. We need to show proof of either a negative result or an antigen test. So it doesn't say anything about showing that you've been vaccinated, which, okay, so it costs you about 250, 280 baht, something like that. Passengers need to have a COVID-19 RT-PCR test or antigen test valid no more than 72 hours before flight departure time and strictly comply with the regulation of arrival destinations. Their Thai Viet special for flights from September 1st to November 30th ends tomorrow. So you got to buy the tickets today to be able to use them between September 1st and November 30th. And strangely enough, my wife said to me, I miss Khao Sok. I want to go back to Khao Sok. Khao Sok is a lovely place, so we'll have to see. Plan to be back in time 2023. And that's a ways off. That's a ways off. All right, so we know that some people are going to be coming back. But, what's the criteria for coming back? That's what I'd like to know. Is it just because there's too many hassles now? Or is it because of, the fact some people are scared? Really, some people are like, I don't want to risk it. Or is it the hassle, or is it just not a good time? And then where are you going to go? I mean, I forget who it was that said, hey, I'm going right back to, I'm going to go to Soy 6 in Pattaya. And, oh shit. I don't know what they're doing, but, shit, construction. Let's see if this works. Hang on one second here. We're back. I'm not taking a PCR test. I'm not going to pay 2,800 baht. That's not going to happen. Not for 4 people. What they said is you can take the antigen test, though. So that's not 2,800 baht. That's like 280. Depends on where you get it from. Some people are selling it for 250. So that's a good thing. Now, one more thing I forgot, and I don't know what's happening today. The douchebags must be out. The haters must be out. But if you would be so kind, don't forget to leave a thumbs up if you like the channel, you like this particular stream, you like what I'm doing or not doing. I'd appreciate it. And if you have not subscribed already, please do so. Either click or don't click the notification bell. I'd appreciate that. But considering you got 54 people in and only 14 thumbs up, to me that seems a little strange. But then it's YouTube, so what do you want? Not that it really matters. Frankly, Scarlett, I don't give a damn. 50 baht to the dollar would be heaven. Yeah, well, the Thais would be screaming if that were the case. They would not like it. Most Thais wouldn't like it. Do I think there will be an option for non-vaxxed people to come January? No. I don't. I think you're going to have to be vaccinated. This is the way that I think the governments look at it. Medically speaking, hey, if there's a vaccine out there that will prevent people from dying, I'm not going to get into the whole debate of it because I didn't want to do that. This is about the travel aspect of Thailand again. If you have that available, why not use it? So, if we're going to use it, we need to make it mandatory for people to come in. And more than likely, they're going to still make you get tested. And more than likely, for at least a while, they're going to make people have insurance. Now, I don't know if they're going to keep the same criteria. Who knows? I don't see them lowering the numbers anytime soon. It might be another year or two. This country moves very slowly. Governments tend to move very slowly, but this country in particular, it takes about 3 or 4 go-rounds before they get it right. And you know, I'll tell you what. There's the what's that thing called? The COVID. I'll tell you right now. The exact numbers: 31,510,000 and let's see here. 100 vaccine doses. That's 45 doses per 100 people. At this rate, Thailand could have 70% of the people vaccinated. That's 2 doses in 121 days. So, December 29th. So, by the end of the year, they could have 70% of the population vaccinated. And then I think it's going to take them, you know, another 3 to 6 months before things go down even more. And who knows, it could go back up. So, you know, anytime you're traveling, man, see? Anytime you're traveling now, you run the risk of being stranded. There's that word again, stranded. Don't get me started on stranded in Afghanistan. You know, you could be stranded. The airlines could shut down again. They could. There's all kinds of things that can happen. The government could ask for more requirements. Look at what's going on in Phuket. Things are starting to realign with the way that it was in the beginning. But there's, I read an article, and it was a pretty good article about how there's some irritated people, and Brits have been canceling and checking out early to so that they can save money because they know it's going to be difficult for them to get back into their country, and they're going to have to hurry up. And right now, the UK announced on Friday that Thailand was on their red list. So that means that the hotels have to refund their money. It's back. Back on. You know, the internet, while at times it is fantastic, there are times when it is so sporadic that I don't know what's going on with their, you know, they may have, the broadband is supposed to be a certain amount. They may be overdoing it a bit. And so whenever I'm, like right now, I'm on my 4G. I'm not on Wi-Fi. The 4G always works well. The Wi-Fi is hit or miss. Generally, it's pretty good. But quite often, like during the streams, I have little issues. And, you know, that's the way it goes. Good afternoon there, Mr. Dowlow. The peace of the morning. Finally. The dog's barking. The cat's scratching at the door. The guy next door is dumping bricks from his wheelbarrow on his roof. In future, proof of vaccine will be as important as a valid passport, blah, 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 blah. Well, maybe what they're going to do is you're not going to be able to get a passport unless you've been vaccinated. That would be my thinking. No, yeah, Serenity Now. Serenity now. I need the, what was the poll? What was that Christmas tree? Instead of Christmas, they practice something else. Niall, take it easy. Huh? We actually, Niall, maybe you and I and Jono and Mr. Longhorns can all meet up in the next couple of days before Longhorns goes back home. Maybe we can meet up somewhere down yonder. The Festivus for the rest of us. That's right. Okay, I got it now. Thank you very much. I remember. Okay, so of the people that are coming here, my question is, where are you going to go? And, please, I don't really care if you're going to go to some whorehouse. I'm talking about, like, what city you're going to go and what are your plans. Not, I'm going to go and stick it in some chicken soy 6. That's not what I'm talking about. We let's keep it classy. Let's keep it classy, Bangkok. Anybody? Because I was thinking, where do I want to go? Now, to be completely honest, I like Khao Sok. I liked it a lot. There's a lot to do. You can go down on the river. You can go rafting. You can go canoeing. You can go into the woods, into the jungle there, and take a nice walk. Take a nice long walk. You can do that every day. You go for a nice walk through the jungle. They have a great pathway there near where we stayed the last time. There's a lot to do there. I don't know what's on my top 3 list though, because I don't know. Maybe it's number 3. Because I want to make the wife and kids happy. I'm still. I'd like to go to Kopayam. That's a place I'd like to go, and then maybe Koh Lipe or somewhere like that. I'm not sure yet. But there are some places that I'd like to go. And here in Bangkok, I've been to damn near everywhere in Bangkok, like 5 times, 10 times. I thought about taking Mr. Longhorns across the river to, what's the name of the place in the center of the river? The place where they make all the clay pots and stuff. I went there with my mother. I went there with Nicholas. I went there by myself. I've been there, 4 or 5 times. I can't remember the name of the place. There's what is it? Bang Prachao or Bang Krachao or something like that. But the other place is what I'm talking about. The place where they the clay pot. Let me see here. Clay pottery. Chao Phraya. Muslims. Kokret. Yeah. Okay. I went there. The last time I went there, it was Banca Chow is where I almost got run over. I was on a motorcycle, and the guy was just almost got smashed by a truck. That place is okay. Not a whole hell of a lot to do there when everything's shut down, and there's not a lot of people going to run over there. The other thing was, what was the other place? Oh, Kokret. That's another place. And then, I just don't want to go there again. It just doesn't really. I don't know. It doesn't do that much for me anymore, especially when the place is closed. And then, I was thinking about maybe a good place for us to go. And I'm talking about myself and Longhorns. I kind of doubt that Jono wants to go with us because he's got a bad knee or knees, and I don't know what he's going to want to walk around. But down in Chinatown, um, near Chinatown, there's a place called Talat Noi, and they've got a lot of cool stuff there. And just it's a great place to walk around, but it's also they got some nice little kind of like hole in the wall restaurants and places to eat. And that if some people may remember where I went to this place, it was the oldest house in Bangkok. It was from like 1782, or I can't remember exactly when, but somewhere around there. It was a couple hundred years old, and the same family has owned it throughout the years. But then I went to a place, and they had a little pool in the middle, which is not meant for swimming. It was decorative, and I think that was the back end of that house. But they also had a scuba diving place on the bottom, and they had a little pet place where they have pets, which you don't really see those. And then you can go upstairs, and they'll make coffee for you, or they had a little bit of food and that kind of thing. And that place was really, really cool. It's right on the river. So he and I may do that, and I don't know if I'll stream all of it or just shoot video or what we're gonna do. I have no idea, but that's a place we may go, or I may go. Chinatown's always kicking. It's a good place to go if you just want to walk around, you just want to hang out, and maybe like lean up against a wall or something like that. But now that they're reopening, that's different. So it will be even better. I just got sick. I've been to Chinatown probably 50 times, and after a while I get sick of it. The cool thing is that you can walk around in Chinatown, excuse me, and you can go down an alley and then take a right. Maybe you take a left, and the last time you take a right, and it will lead you into a whole new world. You're like, holy shit, I didn't even know this was here. When this mess is over with Thailand's relationship, it might be stronger. I don't know why it would be worse. There is concern that Thailand is slowly changing its alliance. They're very careful about how they thread the needle between the United States and China. But China has been helping them with vaccines and all kinds of other stuff. So I don't think it's going to change at all. If anything, it'll get better, not worse. So, yeah, those are some of the places. Now, in Bangkok, I don't know, if there's anywhere else that someone wants me to go, let me know in the comments or in the chat. Yeah, I know about the place. I haven't been there because, there's so many burger joints in Thailand. Really, there's a lot of good burger joints. Everybody in their and I talked to John for a long time about this. I thought about doing it, doing like a burger review or something like that. I don't know. It's like me going. I'd rather, honestly, if I was gonna do something, I'd rather go to what's it? Jai. What is it? What the hell's the name of that place? The lady who's got the omelets. It's Michelin star. Jai. What the hell's it called? I want to get this right. I always forget it. Yeah, it's not Jai, it's J. J-Fi. That's what it is. J-Fi. I've thought about going there. I've already been to the place famous place for the mussels omelets. And that's a little, I look at it and I think to myself, man, while I've had a lot of Thai food, my knowledge of Thai food isn't great. It's okay. But like going to go eat a burger, yeah, because it's the biggest, it's the biggest burger in Bangkok. And yeah, okay, great. But like there's some, I went to a place, I did a little video a while back, and I went with the guy Tom, who I haven't seen in quite some time. What was the name of the place? What the hell was the name? It was It was a Muslim place. Um, Jesus Christ, my memory is really getting bad. Let's see here. In see what is it? Wrong. Berg Republic. Thank you. The Berg Republic. Man, they make some great burgers. And they got great fries and they got great shakes. They make really, really good stuff. You ever try those places with the stacked plates of pork ribs? No. I've had pork ribs here several times. My wife just made some noodle soup with pork balls and chicken. You know, yeah, I mean, like, I love that kind of stuff. I get a little sick of eating the noodle soup. You know, the boat noodle soup. We have boat noodle soup restaurants. Actually, there's one down the street from here. There's two across the street, and there's another one down the street. I don't like that place. My wife loves it. She thinks it's the best place. I don't. I think the lady right across the street makes the best cuitill. And yeah, so you know, you got me, man. You're asking me to remember something. If I don't have to remember it, I don't remember it. Let me see here. There is one of the things that Longhorns wanted to do is he wanted to go to that coffee shop in oh, I think I know where you're talking about, Carlos. That's in Nonthaburi, I believe. It's in Nonthaburi, and I don't remember the name of it, but I could find it pretty easily. And but there's a place in Chinatown, and I'm sure that the regulars here in the stream remember it, where I've been, and basically they serve traditional. Just all they do is serve traditional coffee. I mean, you know, they don't serve any espresso and latte and you know, frappuccinos and all that kind of stuff. They don't serve that kind of stuff. They just serve traditional coffee made through the sock. And that place is fantastic. I love that place. It's got, you know, listen, it's great for 20, 30 minutes. But I think he would like it. I'm thinking of where can I take him, because I don't know how much longer he's going to be here. And so, you know, it'd be good that he gets to go out and see some places. I know a few things he wants to do that he's told me about, but once things open up. But that place is something like 82 years old. It's well known, and it's a good place to go and just, like, you know, hang out with a bunch of old Thai Chinese guys. You know, speak a little Thai with them and have them laugh and, you know, give you a toast or whatever. You know. And I tell you what, Ratchet Train Market, been there, done that. It's another one, you know. Yeah, it's cool. It's a cool place. The places that have shut down, not really many that I know of. Not that I can think of. All the places in my area. Listen, the cops are not roaming around here looking to see are places open when they shouldn't be, and it's just not. It doesn't happen. They got better things to do. You know, really. And I mean, I could literally walk, and there's 15 places to eat. Within 5-10 minutes from my house, I can walk, and there's at least 15 places, if not more. If I walk around the corner, there's probably 30. And, you know, I don't know if you guys remember, if the people who've been here and watched for a while maybe remember, but I've walked down Happy Land, and also I've walked and went, you know, there used to be a little back way to go, and there was a college. It's not Arbac. But there was a little walkway, and motorcycles used to go, and there was a nasty canal there and everything. Well, what they've done is they've drudged up the canal, and they've made a nice walkway, a sidewalk where people can go, and so that should be done pretty close, done pretty soon rather, and that'll be quite nice once it's done. The other day I went to Noodle Shop, and I've been there and streamed there before. It's right down the street from my house. Nice noodle shop, and I got myself a curry, a curry chicken, which was fantastic. The guy's good guy there. He's had the place for 50, 60 years, something like that, with his father. Ancient City is very nice there. I've been there like 4 times. I've been there alone. I've been there with my wife. I've been there with my mother. And it's definitely an experience. Especially the first time you go to the ancient city, you're like, wow, this place is awesome. After the second time, I was kind of like, oh yeah, okay, I remember this and everything like that. This is good. And when I went to Ayutthaya, there's a place that has the similar kind of design. I don't remember the name. I think it was Ayutthaya Park or whatever it was. They have a design where you can eat. There's like a lake, and then you can go around the lake, and you decide where you want to stop and eat, and you just jump off the little boat, and you grab some food from whatever restaurant, or they have little boats that are sitting there, and you can just tell them, hey, I want some of that, and they'll hand it over to you, kind of like the market. What the hell's the name of that market? The one in Talingchan. Maybe that's it, Talingchan Market. It's similar to that. So that's the one thing. There's plenty of great places to eat here. And I'm sure that now that things are open and you can just go right in, I'm absolutely positive that Longhorns will be going to them on a daily basis. Now, I'm not going to be going with them. I won't go out and eat at different restaurants every single day, but once in a while I will. In your opinion, how is the mood of the people in Thailand because of the lockdown? They're irritable. And is there a point where they will start to riot? Well, they've already started protesting. And they're going to have protests starting September. They've ended their, I was talking about this yesterday. They ended their car mobs, which is basically just driving around, clogging up traffic with numerous cars and having flags out and megaphones and, espousing the virtues of their cause. And starting September 2nd at Asok and BTS, there will be protests on the ground. They're saying every day until the Prime Minister resigns. And they're saying it only will take a couple of weeks to get him to resign. I don't know about that. There will also be other places where they're going to be protesting. Now, how violent that gets, I don't know. It's hit or miss, really. The one the other day had a little bit of tear gas. And to me, that's not violence. I mean, they just shoot the tear gas to get the people to spread out and go away. And if they just go, then there's nothing else happening. Where the violence starts is when they start shooting people. They start shooting people with rubber bullets. They start shooting the tear gas at people. They start grabbing people, beating them. Well, that could happen too. But the main concern is that that's a huge artery that leads to just about everywhere. Sukhumvit, Asok, what is it, Rama? It's not Rama 8. It's massive. So if they congest that area, then everywhere is going to be clogged up. It's going to be a massive disruption. Before the vax ramps up, I don't know what you're talking about. Before the vax ramps up, they've already ramped up. I mean, there was 950,000 or something vaccinations on Friday. You know, so it's not like they have made the move. And let's see. Well, this is, what's the deal here? Let's see if I can find out what they gave yesterday. I don't know off the top of my head. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yesterday it was 434,000 doses, which is, that's still 15 million people. That's a little more than, that's about 13 million people per month, if they can do that. But I think they're going to do more, to be honest. I think it's going to work out to where they do more. But, you know, the estimated date, as I said earlier, the estimated date that they will be done is December 29th. And by done, I mean 70% of the people. I don't know if that means the total population or the population that they have decided need to be vaccinated. But 70% of the people will be vaccinated in 121 days. If you just go, I got the link right here. If you can go to this page, it'll tell you up to the second. There you go. That'll tell you up to the second how many people are being vaccinated, how many people have been vaccinated. And let's see something else here. You got any new news? Up to the moment news. Up to the second. No. Already know about all this. Vaccines for foreign nationals. Well, we're just talking about. Okay, there's 5 places for foreign nationals. I already knew about that. That's old news. Were they able to get a new supply of vaccines from somewhere? Thought there was a shortage. Well, they've got a hell of a lot of the Sinovac. They had a contract. They were given some Pfizer. They signed a contract for like 10 million doses. Then they got another contract just the other day, which was like 20 million doses. And then they also have Moderna supposedly coming in. So between all of those, supposedly they're going to have enough. Right now, it doesn't seem like there's a major shortage. And, you know, they also got the AstraZeneca. Dalo, thank you very much. Appreciate that. Choke D. End of the month here. Forgot all about that. Tomorrow is the big day. You know, honestly, it's really not all that big of a day. When you think about it, it's just another day, and it just happens to be that, guess what? You can go to a restaurant now. You can go to a coffee shop now. You can go to a few places now. You can travel a little bit easier now. So really, it's like, wow, I get to do this again. When the truth is that you should have been able to do it in the first place. Carlos, take care. But you haven't been able to. Not here, at least. And one thing I was thinking is that, like, you know, Chuck, he's out there in, I don't know, he might be in Spain now. I'm not sure. But he's just doing his thing. Then I saw some video, where was he? Was it in Russia or something like that, where some guy was in Russia? He's walking around, 2 guys in Russia. No, actually it was like 4 or 5 guys altogether. They're all in Russia on a basketball court, and none of them have masks on. So I am still really, I talk about being in my own little bubble and how I like it sometimes. Many times I like it. But then when you look at it, sometimes I'm in my little bubble here and I'm not looking at the entire picture, which I admit that. I mean, the United States, there's a lot of places that people aren't wearing masks, or they're only wearing masks in certain situations. And here in Thailand, I mean, even you walk down the street, you're supposed to wear a mask. And I've seen numerous people, 2 masks and a shield, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, you know what? If I don't want to die from this virus, I really don't, or I wouldn't have got vaccinated. And I don't know if it's going to help me. Got no idea. I didn't think I was going to die from the vaccine, and I don't think I'm going to. I think there's going to be a lot of questions for years. There's going to be questions for years to come about this. And then what's going to happen is in 30 years, 50 years, 100 years, people are just going to look back on it and they're going to go, oh, wow, I wonder why it was that way. And they're, that's it. No more. I don't know if any restrictions are going to still be in play, although, you know, we may have further pandemics and things may be worse. I hope not. But that might be the case. So, but step by step. Thailand's a little slow, but once they get rolling, a mask, a visor, no helmet, yeah. Why don't you just get inside of a hazmat suit? You know, you're gonna go down, you're gonna go across the street to go get some water from a little market, and you're gonna wear a hazmat suit. I mean, you know, imagine if the whole world had to dress in hazmat suits. So tomorrow, although, you know, it's not really a huge day, it's nothing. I think that people people are going to be happy that they get to go out. It is a little bit of a relief for me, especially. I mean, I admit it. I don't mind being at my house and staying inside when I want to. And, you know, everybody that I talk to, all my buddies, we're all the same way. We don't mind staying inside. We like staying inside, staying at the pad, hanging out, watching movies, or, you know, spending time with the families, or whatever it might be. But when we want to go out, we want to be able to go out. And, you know, it's like my wife, you know, oh, I wish I could go to CASHAPP. And I'm like, well, maybe we can. You know, we'll see. You know, and I mean, we have a lot of other things to think about, like the dog and the cat. You know, the kid's going to have good internet. Is she going to have good internet? How are we going to do this? You know, so that's a different story. That's a completely different story, and it's unrelated. If it's just me, can I go to CASHAPP? Yes, I can go. You know, it's a little easier when she's around because she just handles everything. I don't have to do anything. Other than when I'm out alone or with one of the kids or something like that. But it's one small step. Listen, they've talked about how they needed vaccines and how they haven't got the vaccines. That came out. Prayut is apparently in charge of the vaccination program. Since he's taken over from the public health minister, things seem to have gotten much better. And I think they will continue to get much better because he knows how much is at stake. And they have changed things around. They've changed their narrative a little bit to where they're saying we're going to have to live with this. We're not going to have some zero, you know, there's not going to be zero infections. So we're headed in the right direction, and now we're reopening. Again, what happens if the numbers jump up and surge? Are they going to say, we got to lock down again? They might. So you have to be prepared for that, and I'm not really prepared for that. I don't want to see that. I don't want that to happen. I don't want to take a little trip somewhere. This is another thing. I don't want to take a little trip somewhere right away and go, oh, everything's open now. I'm going to go. And I take off and go down to some island, and then they say, sorry, no, now there's no way to get back. It's going to be a pain in the ass to get back. There's always a way to get back. There's always a way to get around Thailand. You just need to pay for it. And it may not be cost effective. I mean, it might cost you 10,000 baht to get back when normally it would cost you 500 or 1,000 baht. So these are the questions, and at least people are starting to see, hey, Thailand is getting vaccinated. Maybe things will be okay here. And I do think that people will forget all the bullshit. People will forget about the comments by the health minister. It's one person. That's not how every Thai person feels, or they wouldn't be protesting against the current administration, which right now there's a censor going on, and I think there's 6 people who they're looking at, the government is looking at to see if they have done their jobs properly and what can they do about it. And so that's something else going on. That's for 4 days. That's today, for the next 4 business days. So that'll be the end of the week. And, so things are a little better. And I am skeptical about believing everything. I'm skeptical that everything's going to turn out rosy and, it's all going to be rainbows and lollipops and puppy dogs and all that. And we're going to be fantastic. And Thailand is paradise. It's going to be that kind of thing, And, you can look at any place just about. You can find paradise. There are places in America you can look at and you go, man, this place is fantastic. I'm right on the beach here in Malibu. I'm at this nice house overlooking the ocean. Hey, for some people, that's paradise. Okay, but you still got to live your life. And, for some people, for very few people, life is but a dream. For most people, life is a series of, hits and misses and successes and failures and good times and bad times and all that other kind of shit. I get the feeling that in Victoria and New South Wales, they've given up on suppression and they're now talking. I told you, Dow, and I know that I've had some people that from Australia actually write me and say, all this talk about the Australian government cracking down and being too harsh with people. No, the protesters are all idiots, and it's the government is doing a great job. And I have my doubts about that. It's about perception. It is about how you're perceived when it comes to tourism and where you want to go. And I think that if things, the post-pandemic, the post-COVID times, if things approach how they used to be, I wouldn't have a problem going to Australia. But the way that it is now, I mean, I don't even want to go to my own country. Because, first of all, I'm pissed off at the government. I don't appreciate the way that the government handles themselves and has handled certain situations. And I don't like the whole woke. What is that? Wokeism. But, like for now, I wouldn't go to Australia. There's a lot of places I won't go. I won't travel that much right now. I was talking to Chuck about it. I'm not going to travel. Why? For what? What's the goal? What's your end game? If it's for a job, it's for me making a movie, making a video, and like working with someone. Okay, let's make something great. Yeah, okay. But to go there and do some little travel vlog or something, it's not worth it. People are interested in Thailand. I'll travel around Thailand a little bit because I'm very comfortable here and I know I have some kind of a backup. But, I don't know. That's where I'll end it. That's about the size of it. I'd like to know how more Australians feel because, I hate to say that about Australia because I know a lot of Australians and I've always had good times with them and they've always been very cool with me. And, you know, there are pricks everywhere, and there are governments. To me, like every government, I'm totally suspect of it. But when the police start beating people up because they don't have a mask on, or they're standing at their door and they don't have a mask on, or something like that, or they walk outside in front of their house, they don't have a mask on, and the same goes with the UK. I have that feeling about the UK. America, forget about it. I mean, I'm just take it for granted. I'm talking about America. So anyway, I had asked people, what are three places you're gonna go to once you get back here? Assuming you do want to come back here, you do come back here, and you're able to travel around Thailand. Where are you gonna go? What are you gonna do? I'm curious to know about that. So I'd appreciate it if people don't leave comments in the chat about this. Leave it in the stream. Let me know what you're gonna do. And I already know, you know, there's some knuckleheads out there. I'm going straight to Nana. I mean, I get it. You know. You know, there's guys that are just dying to get back to Phuket. The Phuket where the bars are open and people can sit on a little bar stool and have, you know, some chick rubbing their neck and, you know, patting their head with you know, a cold towelette. On arrival, Bangkok, udon, Chiang Mai. A boba? What's a boba? No idea what a boba is. Bangkok, well, Bangkok is a good one. Udon Thani, I don't know why. Does that have to do with the woman? I don't know. Chiang Mai, okay. You know, I'm I'm okay with Chiang Mai. It's not my favorite place. You know. Never heard of it. Well, black is dumb. See dumb. So, and balls, I don't know. Kai, you know, Kai as in eggs. Uh, Never heard of it, though, to be honest. Good morning. Good morning there, Raymond. Chinkan, Mukdahan. Oof. Wow. Mukdahan. Samet. You know, no, none of those places are places I would go. I'm surprised no one says Kokut, or, you know, Kolipe, or what's the other one that I wanted to go to? That not many people go to. Oh, yeah. I don't see. I don't ever drink that milk tea shit. I never ever drink that stuff. Don't. I don't even. I just don't even. I don't know what it is. I don't have any desire to drink it. Callison. Oof. What the hell are you gonna go to Callison for? What is in Callison? What was that one island that I wanted to go to? See if I can find it. Now, you know, listen, I used to hold this as a secret, big secret, but Phi Phi Islands, okay. Atlanta, maybe. Koh Payam, I already said that. Koh Adang, Koh Pada. But the one that I went to with my wife, if you want to go with a woman, if you want to go with a woman alone, Koh Saboya, Siboya. That place is, I don't know how it is now. She and I went about I don't know how many years ago, 15 years, 20 years ago. We went and we stayed there for like 4 nights, and there was nobody on the island. To the point that she was like, "I'm scared of ghosts. I'm scared there's nobody here. There's going to be somebody that's going to come and kill us." And but you could be in your little bungalow on the beach, and you wouldn't see one person. You just sitting there, and there's nobody there, and it was fantastic. There was one restaurant on the island, and that was it. If I could travel to America, where would I want to go? Well, I want to go see my parents. Go see my family in Miami. I love Florida, you know. It has a nice vibe to it. And, you know, I know there's all kinds of shit going on there right now with the governor and mask and all that other kind of stuff. I'm not worried about all that. Florida is a fantastic place. Cuban coffee. You go down south, you know, Pachynbury. Yeah, I like the little places where there are nobody's there. Yeah, I've been there. I've been there. It's been a while, but I've been there, and I didn't have any problems. I mean, I was pretty low key about everything. Um, I've spent some time in the South. Not always the far South. Most of the time, it's been around Sortani or Nakhon Si Tamarat. But I've spent a fair amount of time in the South. You know, in Krabi and all those places. But you know, my wife is from the South. She's from Sortani, so I spent quite a bit of time there. I'm not worried about a new variant. Surely you're joking, me so hungry, because you will be banned if you think he's really your hero. I will ban your ass for that. If you think he's a hero, if he's a hero, he's a jackass. Okay? You shouldn't even joke about that. Shouldn't even joke about that. Really, you shouldn't joke about that. That's just wrong. Yeah, well, don't do that. Don't do that. It's not that I'm heated. I think it's the most idiotic. He's an idiot. And to do that to people there, he's not on track. He already is worse. He's already worse. I can't even look at the guy because well, we're gonna. I don't think there's any problem. I wanted to talk about Thailand today. I don't want to talk about Biden or Cammy. I'd much rather just focus on Thailand. I don't want to know about Biden. Biden's an idiot. He's the president of the United States. He was voted that way, supposedly legally. But I still think he's a jackass. And I always thought that Trump was a bit obnoxious at times. But you know what? He's a New Yorker. He's been involved in construction all his life. He was around it all his life. What do you expect? I do think, though, that if you're going to have somebody in office, look at all the leaders. Do you need a leader who's a softie? No, you need some guy who knows when to be hard and when to be relaxed. So, Biden is one of the worst. To me, he's a sore subject. I don't see how any Democrat can win the presidency in 2024. I don't see how that's going to happen. Yeah, I mean, you know what? Even in Thailand, I'm like, I was looking it up yesterday. What do you call it besides COVID fatigue and all? You know, is there a reason to feel fatigue? Because everyone I know is always like, man, I'm worn out. It drags you down because you're constantly trying to find out, are things going to get better? Are things going to get better? Are things going to get better? What's going to change? Are they reopening? When am I going to get my vaccine? When can I do this? What are the requirements to get in or to have my family come in? And it's just a mess, man. And I just think that you know what? Hang on a second here. Now, I had this little phone, and I thought I lost the charger for it, and then I realized it's just a regular USB-C charger. There we go, right there, baby. You want to call me? Here you go. I don't need to look at anything. I don't need to do anything. This thing's a pain in the ass to message with. I'll make the call. Hello? I'm on my way. I'll be there in 5 minutes. Boom. This thing was like $19. And, you know, the only thing I don't have is headphones for it, and I don't really care. So, it's about time now that I found out that I can charge this thing, and it's all charged up right now. Thankfully, I can use my phone to stream with and to listen to music with and shut off everything else. And then I can use this for my calls. And it's fully charged. There we go. Beautiful. This thing, it may be a piece of ancient history. Low tech is the way to go. Where's that film camera? I've been shooting film lately. I don't know. Something now, I just want to go low tech again. I think we need to go low tech. Get off the internet. Stop looking at the news. I'll stream hour and 30 minutes. I stream. Boom. I'm off. Don't need to look at the internet anymore. I only use the internet for things that I need to. Maybe, if I need to transfer some money or something like that. Okay, it's great for that. But other than that, low tech is the way to go, baby. And this is coming from somebody who has a espresso maker that you don't need power with. I have a hand grinder. So I'm not opposed to going low tech. And I think sometimes, especially now in times of stress, it would be nice if I told my wife, listen, you want to go to Cow Soak? Let's go. I'm going to grind up a bunch of coffee. I'll just throw the people at the little place the coffee. They can charge me. They make me my coffee every morning. Boom, boom, boom. Just bring a little bag of coffee. I got my own coffee. The coffee I like. I bring my little phone here. That's it. That's all we need. And I used to wonder. There's an old Thai Chinese guy that I know. Very, very wealthy guy. I mean, he's very wealthy. Multi-millionaire. And I used to laugh because he would have two of these. He carried two of these around. One for business, one for personal. But they were like this. He didn't have, the nicest Samsung Galaxy or the best iPhone or anything like that. No, he had these little things. And I'd go, why do you just have your little phone? Like, why don't you have a nice phone? What do I need it for? All I need to do is make a telephone call. He's like, I just make a phone call. You want to do something? Make a phone call. So, anyway, that's where we're at. That's where we are now. Let's see here. I will be getting out soon. I need to get out. Tomorrow, please join me. For those who care, I'll be at Starbucks, and who knows? Longhorns asked me, who's working tomorrow? How the hell do I know? It's not like I'm talking to all these girls and saying, are you working tomorrow? I'm going to be streaming there. No, I don't have this long list of people where I go where I can just say, hey, are you going to be there? But there are, the one problem that there may be with some places is that supposedly the government still wants the staff to be fully vaccinated. And not everybody has been fully vaccinated. Now, 90% of the people in Bangkok supposedly have been fully vaccinated. So I would say that most people that have been working, like in a place like Starbucks, that has been open, even though they're not open to the public, they're just open for pickup from Grab and these other organizations. I know that before, when I was allowed in there, most of them had, well, all of them had been vaccinated at least once. So by now I would believe that they are all fully vaccinated. But that could be a problem for some places. Although, again, I don't think in Thailand it's that much of a problem, because I think what's going to happen is, yeah, there may be some spot checks here and there. But I think most places are going to have their act together. They're going to be fully vaccinated, in Bangkok at least. And then the places that aren't, their chance of getting caught is pretty slim. And I think the way that there would be a problem is if somebody, let's say somebody goes to Starbucks and then there's an outbreak, and the government, the health department goes in and they say, listen, someone who was here tested positive, and then they test somebody else there and they go, oh, you work here? Yes. Okay, you were fully vaccinated? No, I wasn't. Now that could be a problem. But other than that, I don't see it being a real problem for now. But we'll see what happens. I think it's good that they've dropped the requirement that everybody's got to be fully vaccinated to go in, because that'll be good for businesses. And I'm sure that these restaurants really can use it. I was just wondering, how long are these places going to stay in business? How long are even places like, look down in Phuket. When I went down there and the 7-Elevens were closed, Burger Kings were closed, McDonald's were closed, there was a Starbucks that was closed. It's time to open up and see what happens. It's time to take the chance, take the step. One small step for mankind, one giant step for those wanting to come to Thailand. And for people like me who just want to be able to go out when they want to go out, do what they want to do, and, Anyway, thank you very much for joining me. I appreciate it. Don't forget to click the thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. I'd appreciate that. Don't forget to click that join button to become a member of the channel. And you can also purchase merch from my shop. You can contribute through PayPal, Patreon. You can get one of my books. You can use the Cash App. I haven't used the Cash App in quite some time. If you got cryptocurrency, there's always cryptocurrency, and I have an Amazon shop. That doesn't cost you a thing if you use the Amazon. So we'll see what happens with that. Do you think allowing casinos to finally open in the country would be a good idea to jumpstart the tourism? Again, Dallo, thank you. Thank you, no problem. I don't think that casinos are the way to go here. I think pot is the way to go. I think they have a better chance at making a money here by legalizing weed, making it kind of like an Amsterdam of Asia. Even with some very strict requirements. You know, Amsterdam, it's not legal in Amsterdam. However, it is tolerated, or in the Netherlands, it's tolerated. I think if they did that here, although I don't know, you know, about the corruption and all, I don't know what kind of corruption's going on in the Netherlands, because I believe it's, yeah, I don't know exactly what the laws are there, but somehow they work around them and it's tolerated. And, you know, a lot of the people that I know, it's not a big deal. And people that go there, it's either they spend all their time and they're, oh my God, but that's changed over the years. I don't think that they're going to allow gambling here. Thank you, John. Thank you very much. I don't think that they're going to allow gambling. And the reason why is it seems that the Thais, you know, just like everywhere else, they have a problem with gambling, especially with football. I mean, they allow it to take place in the stadiums, the Muay Thai stadiums. And, yeah, I would say, for now, I don't think any casinos are going to be opening up. But I do think that in the near future, something's going to happen with weed. They've already, you know, legalized it for medical use, and they've legalized the use of, they legalized the non-THC aspect of it here. That's not a problem. But I'm talking about in the future, they may completely legalize it. I just don't know how they're going to go about it, because I don't think they'll do it like they do it in the United States, which is, you know, you're not supposed to be driving if you're stoned off of your gourd. And you're not supposed to be carrying, you know, 3 pounds of weed in the back of your car, something like that. There will be some strict guidelines. But for right now, I think they have other concerns. And that concern is getting people to where they're not going to die, and getting places, and I'm talking about not only people, but businesses. They get the businesses where the businesses won't die, and they get the people to where the vast majority have done what they can, so that however you look at it, the people supposedly will not be dying as often because they are protected by these vaccines. I'm not going to get into the whole, you know, believe in it, don't believe in it, whatever. That's up to you. But that's how I think the government views it. They want to make sure that people are going to be safe. They don't want people coming into their country and dying in mass because they come here and catch some virus. They don't want that to happen. Now, the percentage of people that die is so low. So if you're 90 years old and you have all kinds of illnesses, I would say you need to be really, really safe. You don't want to catch the flu, much less the COVID. But if you're 30 years old, most people are not going to die from this virus. That's just the statistics. Now, I would hope that the statistics are accurate. I would think that they are. But the weed cafes, that's a subject for another stream. Maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. What would it look like? Thailand, why don't they make Pattaya the city where, you know, like in that little area there where it used to be all go-go bars, well, it still is, go-go bars and beer bars. Instead of having beer bars, why don't they have weed cafes? And right next door, there's a beer bar or there's a go-go. And it's just a limited, like a 2-block area or something like that, and that's it. Something to think about. So, anyway, thank you all for joining me. I really appreciate you guys watching. Today was a little slow. Maybe tomorrow will be a little bit busier. We'll see. Don't know haven't got a clue who's working tomorrow there. But it'll be nice just to talk to some of the people there, and we'll see if I can get Longhorns to come in. That would be good too. Soy Mary Jane. Soy ganja. Soy ganja. You know, the other day when I was walking down the street, I saw that the ganja medical clinic, and I was thinking to myself, so what are they doing with this? Is this is medical use only? How are they? Is there enough money where they can? Is there enough money in it where they can, stay in business? And what happens if things change a little bit? Are they going to be able to remain in business? So, it's a good topic for sure. Soy ganja, soy Mary Jane, soy dirtweed. Soy good shit. Soy, it's the good shit. All right. Anyway, thank you very much. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up, subscribe, and all that other stuff down in the description. And if you want me to start traveling, you guys, your love and fuel, which is little duckies, and support of the channel, is what helps me to be able to do all that. Do things like drink mojitos down in Cow Soak or Riley and show you guys a beautiful beach and that kind of stuff. That's what it takes. So anyway, that's it. I'll talk to you later. And yes, see you later tomorrow.